Hi, welcome to the Divine CEO Show. Welcome, Temple Hayes. Yes.
I love being with my divine sister, that's for sure.
Divine sister and divine CEO, because you are the divine CEO cover goddess this month. Thank you for
You know what? I've been called a lot of things in my life. I don't know that I've been called goddess before, but I'll take it. I'll take it. I'll wear the goddess.
Okay, it was either goddess or priestess. Temple, it's just such a joy to be here with you on the show today. You bring so much light to my life, to those that you touch, those that you share your wisdom with, your friends, your community. You are a change maker and a difference maker. And I love it that your book, Being a Difference Maker. I mean, I think you wrote that about yourself. The title is You, Being a Difference Maker. And I want to say thank you for being the inspiration and that the high consciousness mental equivalent for all of us to know that we have this within ourselves. And you bring it forwards and say, hey, come on, if I can do it, you can do it. What was your initial inspiration? I mean, what's that piece that gets you up and out of bed in the morning to continue with this work, the amazing work that you're doing as a community builder?
Well, thank you so much. You know, it started at 5. You know, I was 5 years old. I was outdoors and I heard a message. You're here, you know, to make a difference in the world. Bam, period. You're here to offer to the world. Whatever words 5-year-olds hear, that's what I heard. And quite frankly, I've been growing into that ever since and longing to understand it, really, Laura, wanting it to make sense at times, you know.
I don't mean to interrupt, but I need to just kind of come in there with at 5 years old to hear that. What did it mean for you then?
Yeah. Well, and being in a Southern Baptist community, feeling adopted. I said that to my family up until I was like 40. I would say, I know I'm adopted. I was the oldest child. And I realized when I looked one time in my mother's eyes that it hurt her for me to say that. So I never said that again. But I really felt like, you know, who are these people, you know, in a Southern Baptist community? And I'm like this obnoxious trailblazer that is leading the way with integration, blending the schools, being called names, you know, and I'm going into 7th grade. I went, whoa, you know. So I used to cry to my mother and I would say, if I don't understand this, I think I'm just going to die, you know. And so it's just been a path that way. And you know what it's like in public life. You have to be willing to take all the gossip and the rumors. And I hear the most fascinating stories about myself, and they're not even close, you know, to my life experience at all. But that goes with it, you know, it goes with it.
Yeah.
And what people don't understand, when you're out there and you're making noise as a difference maker, you make a lot of sacrifices.
Yeah.
And I don't mean that egotistically. I just simply mean that you're guided and you're driven by something. It's so much bigger than you.
Yes.
So much bigger than you. And most of our decisions, and loving my relationship with you over these last few years, we really connect and we are in sync. I mean, we even dress alike.
We do without knowing.
Not knowing we are. I went, oh, it's pink day, you know. But that being said, the energy is about, it's not like we go looking for something, you know. And I think that's one of the current down, how do I say it? I want to say it kind. One of the obstacles with some of the New Thought teaching is people have become responders to what seems popular. Well, I'm going to do it like this one because that's how they made it. I'm going to do it like this one. And a true difference maker is an individual that watches the signs,
Yes.
the wonders, and pays attention to what keeps knocking on the door. You know what?
Yes.
Even if you don't like it, even
Yes.
if it's not a happy place. I know people said, "Oh, I understand you went to California to go to Hollywood." I went, I didn't go to California to go to Hollywood. I went to California because I got 8 messages at restaurants, people walking up to me, psychics, "You need to go to California." And I went, okay. It didn't have anything to do with external, aside from it's beautiful there. But yeah, so it's just the difference maker is the willingness to follow the path.
And it's a path that is being trodden step by step, or being forged step by step, that doesn't necessarily have a blueprint.
No.
For, okay, like you're saying, I'm going to do it this way, I'm going to do it that way because it worked for that person. It worked. Well, it did work for that person because it was that person's dharma, if you like, to bring it through in that way.
Yeah.
I think that's a really powerful point that you've just brought through, because let's talk for a moment about spirituality and consciousness opening up, how it's opened since back in the day with Louise Hay, when there was an opening. I mean, now it's like, whoa, the opening that's happening at the moment, where it doesn't take much effort to find a spiritual teacher or a guide online. It's easy to find teachings of truth everywhere now. We're so, we're interconnected anyway. And then online, it's like, wow, the choice is incredible.
Yes.
So I'd really like you to speak for a moment about discernment with that, and how we choose and how we don't choose, and following the true path.
And Laura, I would go back even further and say one of the greatest days, aside from the harmonic conversions that happened, when was that, in 87?
Yeah.
It was huge, was Shirley MacLaine. I applaud Shirley MacLaine all the time, because she took a lot of hits. It took a lot of courage for her to be a difference maker. Yeah. And her movie, by the way, it's on YouTube. And I went back and watched it again after all these years.
Oh, wow.
It just fed my soul. It's part 1, part 2.
By the way, really, it's called By the Way. It's called By the Way, did you say? Is that what it's called?
No, it's her book.
Oh, her book. Sorry, you meant By the Way.
No, you're right. It's her. We're so excited. It's her book, and it's a film on YouTube. It was a film at the time on television, and now they packaged it for YouTube. Out on a Limb.
Out on a Limb.
Out on a Limb.
Okay.
And it is phenomenal. And back in the day, it's like, whoa, look.
Yeah.
It was like an aha moment, that not that we weren't believing and practicing what we were doing, but it just made it. She's the one, I feel, that really brought a new thought to the masses.
Where was she studying? Was she studying? I wonder where.
A lot in Europe. If you go by the film, it's a lot in Europe, and it's just she woke up to being in sync.
Yeah.
And people kept giving her messages, or walking up to her on the beach, or saying, "Come to my art studio," and everything started coming together. And every time they would, then she would follow that trail. But spirituality, yes, I'm with you. It's great to live long enough, and I'm just getting started. I'm hoping, but to see people talking about spirituality is really exciting. On the other hand, it gets watered down, because it's like the word authenticity, or transparent, or all these words, and and people used to come up to me and say, I'm upset with you because the team let the music director go and you weren't transparent about it. And I went, oh yeah, you'd rather us stand up in public. I didn't say it at the time, but I did later. You'd rather us stand up in public and say we let him go because he was doing coke, okay, and he had coke in his office.
Yeah.
Is that really what you want? You really want us to tear people apart? Let's just say they're goodbye and our time is complete. But spirituality, when you ask me about that, it has to fit. It's like it's not a one size fits all. We have these glorified speakers that go, you do 1, 2, 3. Is there truth to that? There's truth in everything.
Yes.
Absolutely. Spirit is in everything.
Yes.
But how it fits with you,
yes,
it has to come innately. It has to fit naturally. Or it's just a glorified, as my friend used to say, it's a glorified happy hour. That's all it is. And I don't even remember what that's like. It's been so long since I drank it. It'll be 38 years next month. But that said, it has to fit. So, for example, somebody would say, did you become vegan because you're spiritual and you want me to become vegan? I go, I don't want anybody to become anything. I'm not here looking for a club. I'm just dedicated to what I need to do. And it wasn't that I just said, oh, they're saying go eat plant protein and I'm going to jump on that wagon. It wasn't like that for me. It was like a 5-year process.
Yeah.
For me, it was more about integrity. It really was about integrity because I wrote this little book, The Right to Be You. And because that's been my work since 2007 of the right for all life, that everything in its sacredness deserves the right to live, and that is a real challenge. It's a real challenge. And
the real challenge is being ourselves.
And it's about the animal kingdom. It's about, it's like we can make ivory. You don't have to kill an elephant to do that anymore. It's about honoring life. It's about a lot of things. And that's a 10-hour conversation. But that being said, I used to visualize being interviewed on a show like yours. And you would say, oh, Temple, you've written this book, The Right to Be You, and all living things have the right to be. But I understand you still eat fish. Isn't that the case? And I would hear myself go, oh, yeah. And so I stopped. I went, that does not fit. It's not congruent to my message. And that it happened organically. And that's what I'm talking about. I mean, a student asked me one time, will you teach me shamanism? And I said, no, I've already seen you in action. You go to one weekend, you make yourself a business card, and I'm not going to be part of that. Because when you're working with other people's souls, you have to have common sense. I've seen angel readers tell people, you better watch out, something bad's going to happen to you. Who does that?
Yeah.
So
and that's where
spirituality, you must be aware enough to make sure that it works for you.
And have that discernment, because there is so much available and it's free. This is the thing. So we can all dip in and out of the YouTubes and the videos and people and experts and leaders, of which there are many, many. It's very easy to get sucked into what doesn't feel in integrity, or maybe because it's a fad.
Oh yeah,
that's the thing, isn't it? Yeah.
It's a fad. I think one of the most hysterical things for me, and I'd like to call this discerning, is I was invited to this place and I studied shamanism for 10 years. and that is a holy energy, an energy healer. It's made all kind of things, but the shamanic journey, I studied it very serious for a long time, not a weekend. And I go to this place to retreat, and they've invited me to come. And I wouldn't do ayahuasca because I have no judgment about it. I know a lot of the leading edge, circuit people that do spirituality. They're all about ayahuasca. But for me, after I numbed to other things I used to do, I never wanted to do that again, because even the epiphanies or the aha moments I had under the influence, and I had a lot of them, I didn't find them permanent. And so here I am, a learned shaman, and they wouldn't let me participate in anything.
Oh, wow.
Because I wouldn't do ayahuasca. So
Wow.
it's an interesting journey that we're on, and yet there's good in everything, isn't there?
Oh my gosh, and it's finding our way. I was actually listening to something recently about Abdullah, who was the teacher of Neville Goddard. I don't know if you know.
Oh gosh, yes.
And how he was just an unknown. He didn't write any books. He didn't, he wasn't out there giving talks to millions and thousands of people, and very low key, and yet his work was so powerful that he set off the motion of movements in other leaders like Joseph Campbell and Neville Goddard. And it's really interesting how, for me, how I always go back to this feeling in me of, if I really am using spirit, consciousness, God, then the facade of what's happening here in the world at the moment, especially with spirituality and how we should be showing up and should be visible and should have this immaculate social media thing going on. And yet there's something going on that's even more, so powerful. It's the thing, it's God. And it's interesting how we don't have to fit in with the norm of everything everybody is saying. To be a teacher and a guide can do it very differently and have an
do it very differently. Yeah. And the path will always find you, and you will always, you can count on it. You will always be misunderstood.
Yeah.
If you're a difference maker.
Yes.
It's like I say that people teach, you're here to be great. You're here to be great. Oh, you're here to be great. I can teach you how to be great until you are.
Yes. And then
what happens? Be more great than me, because I'll just be threatened by that. It's like,
and that just puts the competition into the whole thing, when really this is a co-creation with the divine. Yeah. And following our hearts as a teacher and a guide, and a difference maker and a trailblazer, as you're doing. It doesn't come, it comes with the sweet and the sour.
Of course. And I just think that's it's not that I in my life put up a sign and focus on negativity at all. However, if you are really wanting to jump into the difference making process, you're going to be limited, and that's just a fact.
Yeah.
If you're too concerned with being liked and being popular, there's times you will be, and there's times that you won't be, and both are good. And whatever you're cleaning up, I laugh sometimes, and now that I'm on the other side of certain things, I say, oh my gosh, I just kept creating that family response over and over again.
Yes.
Until I didn't need to anymore.
Yes. Yes. Until you didn't need to, or until it burned itself out. You realized it and dealt with it internally. And so your journey as a difference maker from a 5-year-old to where you are right now, if you could look back I know this is a bit of a question, but if there was anything you could have done differently along the way, maybe in terms of different types of spiritual practice, or different teachers that you would have loved to have worked with and you didn't. Is there anybody or anything that you think, ooh, I'd like to have changed that?
I know it seems easy to say, no, not really. But yet, the kind and the unkind have both continued to create me. You know, and I'm still being created.
Yeah.
It's not like I'm here and, oh, look at me, I'm here. Oh no, look at me, I'm here and I'm headed there. And yet the beauty and the growth for me. So I would say, if there was one thing, one core thing for me, is a deeper level of trust. A deeper level. I mean, I trust. Obviously, I trust, Laura, if I get messages to leave everything I know and comfort and go all the way with my wife to California, to an unknown and all that. Obviously, I trust. And yet I can see the deeper level of trust, because like so many of you, I trust, but I still want to help. You know, I still want to help you. I still, whoever the you is, the divine angels, the guides, the whatever. And to just totally, and my shaman teacher told me this on her dying bed, if there was one thing I would have done differently, I would have let go. I would have let go. And I've clung to that. And it's had different meanings.
Yes.
Since you passed, and 7, 8 years ago. However, I get that now, because yes, I trust. Absolutely. Yes, I do a lot of things. It's like a astrocartographist who is an astrologist that by your natal chart tells you the best places to live. He told me, he said, too bad you didn't talk to me before you moved to Santa Barbara. I would have told you not to go. And I said, well, you don't know me. I would have still gone. And I would have, because it was my energy with me in spirit.
And yours to discover the reason why you needed to be there at that time. And, we have soul contracts that we don't even know about. And we're fulfilling those contracts with these moves that we make without realizing who we're affecting.
That's right. And trust is, and you and I were talking about this before we got on the show. Trust is like a lifetime of being a bamboo. It really is. It really is. Because
underground bamboo.
Trust is easy when you can see it. The phone rings, somebody likes you on social. When you can see it, piece of cake. That's easy. When you don't see it, that's when you really develop your deeper and your broader sense of who you are as a difference maker. That's
yes. Thank you so much. I think this is a really powerful topic to hang out on for a bit, because for me, I know that, the work that, it takes years and years to get to somewhere where I think is okay. But it's the unfolding. And I realized that when I walked the labyrinth in 2012, and I was, it was like, no, that wasn't definitely drug-free awakening, and rocked my whole world completely. It came back, and my life was never going to be the same again. And had a knowing that I was here to teach and here to guide. And then I was introduced to science of mind, and the rest of that piece is history. However, I realized along the way that when a vision is a real vision, and a dream is planted as a seed in our hearts, or when we reveal it in our hearts, that's only the beginning process of the revelation. The revelation takes us around many labyrinths for years and years and years of working out which step next and what to do next and when to retreat and when to hibernate and when to be out there. And it's a whole process of delicate awakening that then it takes years.
Yeah, that's a huge metaphor. I mean, Buddha said it, right? There's two things that keep an individual from being a difference maker or being successful, whatever the word is that, or words that you use. And never starting is one, and never finishing. Yes. And yes. in that the truth, because you do things and you follow the guidance and you do things and you go, it's the stopping the diet too soon. It's the starting a new entrepreneur thing and quitting because you're not seeing that forward movement, that tipping point. And
not trusting.
And not trusting.
And keeping going, even though it doesn't look like it's happening, because in the mind of the divine, it's happened already.
Oh, yeah. 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 It's already there. And I've always felt that about prayer. And this is really good, the time with you today, because it's activating some knowing that's been kind of lying there for a bit. But it's like people think when I pray, I'm demanding and commanding and requesting that something happen. No. When you pray for something, you are telling the universe, thank you for the idea. Thank you for the signal. And I'm letting you know that I'm willing now to do it.
Yes.
It's not a new thing. It's not the universe is going to be so surprised because I'm asking for this. Duh. The universe gave you the signal so you would respond. 10-4, big buddy. I hear you. Come on.
That's it. So it's a line. It's a line of communication of opening up and saying, I can hear.
Yeah.
The divine can hear. The divine in me knows and then it sparks the signal.
Yes.
But it is, and have there ever been times, Temple, where prayer, where living a devotional life, which I know that you do, and a spiritual practice, have there ever been times where that's taken a back seat and then you've realized maybe, oh my gosh, my life was better with it? I know that's happened for me, even if it's for a couple of days, and it's like, why?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Now, I love the song, My Thoughts Are Prayers, and I Am Always Praying.
Yes.
And I think it likens to what you were saying earlier. There's the walking meditation prayer.
Yes.
There's the listening to Inya prayer. Yes. And Diva, Pramal, and Mintin. There's listening to those spaces. What I have been doing recently for energy, because, with various things happening around us at any given moment, it's probably always been happening. It's just now we know about it all the time. But that being said, I have increased my drumming.
Right.
Because it really activates the heart energy, the openness of the warrior and the teacher and the visionary. Right?
Yes.
And it activates that. And it's so cute, Laura, because as you know, I have a new dog, and he's been with me a year. And when I start drumming, he jumped up on the chair behind me so he can feel the vibration. And it's just really cool. But doing that, and then the sacred.
So cute. I'm imagining that now.
Oh, it's there. I have it on video, and when we have
Yeah.
our call, which we do so often, I'll share it with you,
Oh, me.
because he jumps up there and he says, blah, blah, he's just feeling it, with me, because animals, nature knows and responds, because the drum was the first thing we ever heard, our mother's heartbeat.
Yes.
And so anyway,
That's
it's the sacred groundedness and certain rituals that I'm doing now, like you saw me going like this,
Yeah.
cleansing my energy to be really present with you. That is really more than just words, is being in the now.
And that's getting to that place of knowing that prayer, we become the living prayer.
Yeah.
And it's like maybe we don't even need to consciously meditate as so, because we're in that place of, it's like bringing heaven down and living, being in the world and not of it.
Yeah.
And actually being in, creating my own capsule and being aware and present moment by moment, because it's a continual work, isn't it? It's not do the spiritual practice and that's it, get on with it's the whole day, the whole night, the whole thing. It's like
we're just not designed that way,
No.
not designed that way. The way we discover more of the divine is going deeper and deeper.
And isn't it just so, for me, it's so fulfilling and so exciting. I love it. I know I'm a space cadet anyway.
Oh, no, please don't. No, not at all. I'm with you. I lived a number of years in my life wanting to know.
Yes.
I live now in, I wonder, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yes. I've always been comfortable with change. Like many people, I'm much more comfortable with change when it's happening to somebody else. But I am now so much more comfortable and vulnerable, and just really, it's like I feel like I've been, my mother died 2 years ago, and 3 years in January. And I said, my mother birthed me. Her death has continued to create me. My mother's death has continued to create me. And that's the joy of life, is to continue to create what you don't know about yourself. Like
to be in that place of wonder.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
and wonders. That's what my friend and I talk about all the time. Yeah,
and even when it's not something I don't want to know about myself, it's like, oh, okay, oops.
Absolutely, yes, absolutely.
So tell me, and let's first of all, before we go any further, I want to give a shout out to everyone that's watching and listening and viewing.
Thank you. Always. We are very humbled that you find us interesting.
Thank you for coming here and being here and staying with us and listening. And and I know that could have been done earlier on in the show, but it was like, let's just get straight on with Temple here. It's exciting. And it's brilliant. If you're watching, we are with Temple Hayes, Dr. Temple Hayes. I want to put that in there because you are a mover and a shaker.
Thank you.
And you can always reach out to Temple through her websites, which I'm going to put up here in a moment. But I'd really love you to share, Temple, about your journey with the Institute for Leadership and Lifelong Learning, because I feel this is I mean, apart from other things that you've done and you still continue to do with your organizations for change and peacemaking globally and internationally, you really are an international advocate. I mean, your name goes with international, it's like the two are just together.
Thank you.
Temple and international. You are the international Temple.
Well, thank you. I mean, I learned years ago through what people and organizations didn't do. You don't throw international on your name, your
No,
company or your organization,
no.
unless you really are, doing something with it.
Yeah,
And it's crucial and for sure. So the Institute for Leadership and
yeah.
Lifelong Learning
I'm going to put it up
International
here. We've got it here
is
as a website.
is life skills that can support so many things. And I will go further than that. And I will say for any of you for the remainder of August that purchase a class, and they're very extremely affordable. If you purchase a class for the remainder of August, I will match, our organization will match and give you another free class for your liking. So ILLI is incredible, and we are building more of it. I am planning on launching a big part of it in the spring of 26. So we have we have publishers, we have a media specialist, we have a trauma specialist, we have someone that I know very dearly that is working on 1 billion women on the planet. You
Ah.
might have heard of her, Laura Topper. You know her.
Oh, I've
So
heard of her.
we have more ideas of homeopathy. We're creating the mystery school. Yes, we're doing a lot behind the scenes that you don't see yet. But get involved with us. Join our Facebook page. You're going to be seeing more and more as time goes on.
That is so exciting. And I think I've got to say, what a generous offer you are making here for people to come into your world at ILLI, ILLLI. That is the website. I'm putting that here. What a beautiful offer to inspire people to come into your website, into your world, and to learn.
It's ILLI, excuse me, it's ILLLI.org.
Yeah.
.org.
So yeah. Sorry, there we go.
That's okay.
Because it's you're offering something where people can come in and then stay and hang out for a bit longer and discover your work and the work that, your teachings, which is so powerful. So the website's here. Go and check it out. If you're watching, go to the ILLI website and you can find courses and start to really understand the work that Temple brings to the world. And Temple, you're bringing your work to the world with your change making and your peacemaking organization as well, helping people really around the world to understand the power of who they are and to embody that and change their lives.
Well, with ILLI, one of my dreams and in doing ILLI was having a group of women or men in villages in third world countries, because surprising, third world countries, a lot of them, they do have internet, they do have phones. Half of the world has phones now. Was to offer classes even for free that they could just take. And I wanted to test that. And so a young man came my way from Kenya, and he wanted to be involved with my work. And so I said, it's important for you to understand my theology. And not that it's your theology. I don't need you to agree with me, but I need you to understand. When you're wanting me to talk to your tribe and you're into the throes of deep religiosity, that's fine. We can work with all that as long as you understand that that's not me. And so the next thing, I offered him all the courses from my book, When Did You Die? Different things. And at no cost. And he and his family took all of them. And that's what turns me on, is that kind of energy that we can impact our teaching And it doesn't have to always be about rah, rah, but
Yes.
just the act of giving and making
Yes.
a difference. And that's one reason, too, that you and I connect so deeply, is we have the same kind of thoughts about that. And I'm on your team of supporting you and your goals. And the call you put together last week was one of the best calls I've been on in a long time.
Oh, wow.
I was
Thank you
so
for being
moved by that. I was on with someone from Venice. I was on with somebody from Brighton. I was on with somebody in Mexico. It's like, yes,
Yes.
Nigeria. Yes, bring it on.
Yes. And I want to add on to that, because what you were saying, what we were talking about earlier, trust.
Yes.
And things taking a while, like the bamboo takes 5 years to do that underground before it actually, those little shoots stay and come above the ground. 5 years. And when I was originally with the idea and the vision of Divine CEO, it wasn't an idea, it was a magazine, as you know, and yeah, to then have the first networking call, which I'm going to share the link out with people on the mailing list. If you want to sign up to the mailing list, you can come along to this call next month. There's the website there. And how it takes time to kind of build rapport and relationships with people. And then that group of people wasn't just, oh, I've met these people in the last 2 minutes. It is that trust piece of,
yes, it is
finding us and finding our work. And I would say for anyone listening that is a change maker, difference maker, in whatever capacity, even in our families, because that's a powerful place to be a change maker. It takes time to nurture ourselves and to become the person that we dream of being, that we envision, and to take on the qualities and the values that person would need, or the personality that is needed in order for us to hold the container.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Do I have time for a fun story?
Please.
When we talk about trust and looking for the signs, we're being real. Okay. So I always knew, BB and I always knew we'd wind up living in New Orleans, and her sister too. We always knew we'd end up living here. We didn't know when, we just knew we would. And so that being said, so it started coming up, and her sister Celeste had a dream that we lived here already. And my brother came to see me, Nelson, and he and his wife, and they went, this area in California doesn't fit you, does it? It just isn't you. And I said, no, we're thinking about, that we're ready. We've told, the guidance to let us know, because we're ready. It's been nice. It's been good, but it's not been amazing. So we bought a house by seeing it on video. We bought it here in New Orleans. You drive down to the end of the street, and you'll see it when you come to visit, Laura. Celeste is on one road, Celeste Avenue, and Nelson Court is on the other. Okay.
Yes.
And I've known that part of my work is to have more fun. And so when you're coming in a certain way on the streets, you go by Hickory, Dickory, and Dock.
I love it.
And New Orleans is called the Big Easy. And that's been my mantra. And we say that every day. Everything is easy here.
Yes, that's mine.
It is. Everything is easy here. Everything is also the Crescent City. I went to Crescent High School. I have a crescent moon tattoo way back before tattoos were cool. Now that they're cool, I'm not interested. But anyway, and it's just been everything, signs and wonders, signs and wonders. It's everything is just the right space. And that's the way that the signs work, is being attentive and paying them attention. Thank you for letting me share that.
Oh, it's such a beautiful and important message, this, to be intuitively aware
Yes.
of what's happening for us in every moment.
Yeah.
And yet we tend to be very blinkered to what we think we should be doing,
Yes.
because everyone else is doing it.
Yep.
Or we have just an idea and then just react to that idea rather than waiting and letting it percolate.
That's
and,
right. That's
yeah.
right. So you want to keep your baby shoes out.
Yes.
And
Love
keep
it.
walking.
Oh, I love that. Well, I actually have my
Oh, these are really mine. These are mine.
I do. I have my little baby album here with me and my mum and my dad when I was like.
I love that. I love that. I surround myself with this stuff to remember.
Love it. Love it.
Look at us. They're all images, and they're very powerful.
They are.
They all mean something. Yes.
And they're very. For me, it really reminds me of who I am, or how I came in as spirit.
Oh yeah,
as a child of the divine.
Absolutely.
And I still am, even though I'm bigger and older.
No, you're not. I want to accept that, because that means I have to think about my age, and I don't want to.
No age in the mind of God. I'm timeless. We're ageless.
Yeah. Well, there's something to be said, because our society, we do put a lot of energy on aging and getting older and blah, blah. And I don't have that many chapters left and all that stuff that people say. And yeah, there's some truth to that. On the other hand, in so many ways, you have more time because you're clear and you don't waste it on things that don't matter anymore. And you don't get caught up in hanging on to keeping things the same. So there's a lot to be said about getting younger instead of getting older because of the paradigm that you live in. There really is.
And that is a shift, isn't it, in the way we see ourselves, and that aging is not something that's against us.
Exactly. Well, it's, many people have said it. It's a luxury. I mean, I've survived myself many times. Proud to wear a t-shirt because the way I used to live in drinking and driving, there's no explainable reason in the human sense that I'm even here. So I'm really glad to know that I'm an age person, because I made it,
Yeah, what a brilliant way to say it. And I'm really glad you're here. And I know we're all really more than glad you're here.
Oh, you're so kind.
I'm really feeling the love for you and the inspiration for what you bring to us all. I mean, you're on the cover this month on the magazine, and your article is in, and you're sharing about your book, which I do want to just literally
thank you so much,
because I think
this Laura, for everything. I really appreciate it.
It's amazing. You shared this book with me, and you actually shared the book with me. And I wanted to say, I haven't said it because we haven't been on a call since. It's such a beautiful book, inside and out. The artwork in there, the way that it's been edited and formatted, and the illustrations, and it's very clear and simple to follow. Your 4-step guidance. I'm not going to say process, guidance for how to really be a difference maker, and the tools that we would need for that.
Thank you. We've been together for 20 something years. Bowen Imagery, Mike and Amy Bowen, and they created that. And that is all of Mike's. He met with me years ago before I did the book, and we talked it through. And all of the art in there is the art that he did. It's profound.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Absolutely profound. And if you go on my Instagram, you'll see it on the top row. And I don't know what you call that. But
in the bio.
It's where you mark your different things. And you'll see him opening the page with a video. And I love the art. And what he did, Laura, is when he was at my home, he saw some pieces that I love. like, the one with the shaman.
Yeah.
And it's a real piece that I have in the house. And he took it and he created it. It's more than
Oh,
a book.
it's
It
more
really
than
is a piece of art. It
it's
really
like
is.
walking into a sacred space. That's how I
Yes.
felt when I opened the book. And I don't
Oh,
open many
thank
books
you.
and feel that. It really got me feeling into the power of a book and how a book can be so
Mhm.
beautiful. And it's really important if you're publishing a book, or for me as well, to think, oh, how can I make it feel as if it's this sacred environment to come into, rather than simply
Absolutely. And the
flicking through pages.
texture. I love
Oh,
the texture of even the jacket, the cover of the book. It was with intention that it feel different. Um, yeah, it
beautiful.
really matters as far as a nice coffee table book, and
Yes,
that's what I like.
I like that.
I like books that you can just open up and go, yeah, this is what I need right now. You know.
Yes, so
Yeah.
beautiful. So it's up on your website. This is on your Temple Hayes website, your personal website.
Yes. Yes.
And I'm sure people can find it even is it on Amazon?
Oh yeah.
Or, yeah,
So
it's on Amazon.
if you just type my name in on Amazon, the books pop up. Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Thank you, Temple, for being here, for being on the Divine CEO show. I know we could chat for hours and hours. We always
We
do.
could, and one day we may.
We may, in person. I would like to put you on the big screen for your final, well, not final, that's not the word, for a beginning message, so you can leave
Yes.
people with something to follow. They can follow you up and come and find you on your website, and know more about ILLI. So I'm going to come out for a moment. If you could share something, just something profound to leave with people for how they can tap into the difference maker in their soul within them right now.
Mm-hmm. It's interesting you said that, because I didn't know you were going to ask me that, which again, I don't need to, nor wanted to. But I've been thinking as we've been talking about the heart and the sacred heart, and more than the physical heart. And I was thinking about the beautiful saying from the Wiz, and I say it to myself often. If you believe within your heart, you'll know that no one can change the path of life that you must go. Believe what you feel and know you're right, because the time will come around when you'll say it's yours. Believe that you can go home within your own consciousness, within your own soul work. Believe that you can float on air, then click your heels 3 times. If you believe, you'll be there. So, what I say to you is, don't ever stop clicking those heels, because your heart knows the path that you must go. Thank you, Laura. Thank you for having me.
That's so profound. I can see you as a 5-year-old clicking your heels, just like
Oh,
those
yeah.
baby
Still
shoes you
clicking them. Still
still
clicking them.
them.
Still clicking. Click, click, click.
Yes.
Still clicking.
Oh, thank you for being here, Temple. And the magazine is out. You can download it, divineceoconnection.com. The link is here. I'll put it in the bio as well. And Temple's links are in the bio underneath this post also, so you can reach out to her and find out more, and check out ILLI and the courses, and come back here to Divine CEO. Stay here, tuned with Divine CEO, because there are always incredible guests
Yes.
coming on and sharing and inspiring us all to live from the divine, as the divine CEO that we are. Yeah. Thank you, Temple.
Thank you, dear.
Bye.